to me about work from home. The stats say that there's 6% of public servants only who were turning up to the office.
I saw some American congressman holding up a phone. He'd been on it for an hour and a half and no one would answer it in the particular department. I mean, if there's only 6% in their vast corridors, I've seen those public service buildings in Washington. They've got to turn up to work or lose their jobs.
Well, he's saying that he's going to pay them out, get rid of them, make the public service smaller, drain the swamp. It's all a good thing. Hey, very quickly, there's been an invitation to Prime Minister Netanyahu to come to Washington. And I'm looking at the date, it's imminent, it's next week.
That's one issue where Trump has, well, he's broken from Biden on every issue, but in this one, he is a staunch ally. He's shored that up in terms of maintaining aid, removing bans on different missiles and weapons and so on and so forth. So this just sort of adds to the optical side of it, that he's standing shoulder to shoulder with him and he's leaning into that strategy.
I'm just told in my ear from Sydney that we've got pics. I think the release of more hostages is imminent. When that happens, we'll take those pictures live. That is a good day, although my skin crawls when I look at some of the people the hostages have to walk past and some who will be let out of the prisons, Michael.
Shocking. But Netanyahu's meeting with Trump will be watched in Tehran very closely because unlike the ABC, both the Ayatollahs and Trump understand that this has been a seven-front war orchestrated by Tehran. It's not just Gaza. Those terrible scenes that we're talking about in Gaza, releasing those hostages and making use of them, the Iranians remember two facts that Trump knows very well. One, that all of Iran's air defence were destroyed in October, and there's a squadron of heavy bombers sitting in Qatar in the American air base there with the big bombs that can destroy the nuclear facilities in Iran. So all that Donald has to do is agree with Netanyahu when that happens. I'm not saying it will, that they will agree to it, but they have that option.
He's also called out, Kosher, he's also called out this sense that the... I've lost my train of thought. Completely gone out. Let's go to RFK Jr. What's happening there?
So that was a very interesting hearing. I think it's a little bit on a knife's edge because he can afford to lose 3 senators, not 4. And there is one more Republican, Cassidy, who seemed to not like his answer on certain substantive questions. So that's going to be interesting to see. On the other hand, there are some Democrats who he's been lifetime friends with who might come over. So we'll see.
So
but he's got a lot of vision.
Mitch McConnell, is it like a done deal vote against?
It seems to be that way. For all the 4 controversial ones, that's what everybody's expecting. So he can't lose anymore.
And Caroline Kennedy, what was that about?
So I'm not a fan in general on a human level of airing family laundry out in public. It was unbecoming. And the thing is, the American people know what time it is right now. They don't care about checkered pasts in their personal lives with any of these candidates, him or Hegseth or Trump himself. They want serious people who have vision to reform these agencies, and he ticks that box to a lot of them.
I remember what my question was. You were talking there about Iran and the area. Trump is alive to the fact that most Arab countries in the region are not wanting to take any of these refugees, so-called refugees out of Gaza. They do not want the Gazans in their borders. We saw that very early on with the Egyptians and others. And he's calling on them to do more heavy lifting in the region. That will expose exactly the play that's going on, that no one in the region, settled countries with their Islamic populations in check, do not want these radicals, do they, Michael?
Well, they don't. They fear them.
And they're coming here, though.
Given what's happened in Lebanon in the 1990s, given what happened in Jordan in the 1970s. So it's very revealing. But again, you'll never hear it in the narrative from our billion-dollar paid ABC. You've just got John Lyons over there sympathetically interviewing people who are prisoners, doesn't ask them what their sentences were or what they were for. You know, murder of 7 people. Oh, are you a released prisoner?
And the Prime Minister, you know, your side of politics still will not rule out these prisoners, released prisoners, ending up in Australia.
He should rule it out because it makes the Australian people afraid.
Well, the fact he hasn't tells me everything, Michael. Got to leave it there.